don't know what language that was, but it sure wasn't Japanese.
What time have you got?
7:10.
You're 3 minutes fast.
I love you, Claudia. Dutifully.
Dutifully.
I have no firm intentions of having affairs, but
But? What do you mean, but?
if you stick to your body weight schedule, there'll be nothing to worry about. Well, she told me not to give in on certain issues.
Which issues?
Well, she didn't really specify, so I just figured I wouldn't give in on anything.
I will be your condiment waiter this evening, so if you need any ketchup or A1.
Where's the flowers? Where's the candy? Where's the violins?
Do you have an email address we can send them to?
I do.
Okay. What's the address?
Well, it's on my computer.
Do you know if that email account is also on this phone?
No, it's only on my computer.
That's fair. So when you reset a password, they want to make sure it's in the hands of the right person, so they ask some personal questions that were answered when the cloud was first created. And if yours match up, it'll be easy to save all the photos. What city is your favorite sports team from? Do you have any ideas?
Let's try a different one.
There aren't that many to choose from here.
Just do another one.
Could you at least take a guess? Look, I want to get this taken care of just as much as you do. But if you want this to happen, you gotta help me out here.
For 3 years. Can't exactly get the name of the store for history, but it rhymes with Horizon. And that one. And in those 3 years, actually, it's not a direct story, but the story that happened in wireless happened 4 separate times.
Oh, wow.
And it never got any easier. And so it was one of those things where I was in sales for so long, and that was like one of the longest sales jobs I had, and I burnt out of sales and just knew I wanted to make acting full time. Make filmmaking full time. And it's a cheesy saying, but you write what you know.
Yeah.
And the dedication at the end actually happened because while I was knee deep in editing, my grandfather Israel got very sick, and he actually saw the first cut of the film. And his wife Lois, my grandmother, their relationship was something that I modeled James and Lydia's relationship based off of. So there's a little bit of that. But his review of the film was my favorite review ever because he was a quiet Jewish man who just didn't say much at all, and my grandmother did most of the talking. And he just looked up at me from his chair and just looked at me and said, "That was a nice picture." And that was my favorite review of the film so far, after 2 years of being on the circuit. But that's where it all came from. And so it's all very true as far as the dedication goes. Yeah.
Hey, Dan, I got a great shot of your back. Can you
sorry.
get in the middle there so we can see everybody?
Sorry. Gotta be aware of the camera.
Yeah, totally.
All right, where was the germ of the idea for, the business sense?
I worked actually as a word processor in an investment bank for about 7 years, and I had it was a kind of a wacky place, and these young bankers were under so much pressure. So and they worked in the debt anyway, and in the process, the longer a lot of these people worked there, kind of the meaner they got. Like it was sad. It was like a destruction of their character. And I just thought at one point, how do these people have love lives? What's their dating? And so that's where this came about.
Anybody else?
Go
ahead.
Question for Elliott. What are you working? I mean, obviously, I love your film, your work here. What's next for you?
I'm just coming off a long run. I do a lot of theater, so I've done 5 shows back to back. and a film and a commercial and Ford Industrial. So it's a break. I've got a couple of books, a book to finish, and then my father passed away, and he had written a couple of books, and so I'm going to do the audiobook version of those, and all those proceeds go to support my mom. So that's right now. But if anybody's got a project, I got a card, and we can certainly
Where
get
are you
in touch.
based?
I'm at Arlington, Virginia.
Oh, sure.
It's an hour and 10 minutes to get here, so, or wherever. And have money, we'll travel.
I can actually, I can attest to the travel part because when I made the phone call to cast Elliott, we had just booked the location, which was actually a computer repair shop that we turned into a cell phone store every night. And they asked for more money than we expected, and we ran out of money very quick. And it was very stressful to hire our actors. And when I'd asked Elliott to come in and see if we could get a hotel for him and everything, I still remember this day you saying, if you need it for camera stuff, do that. It's cool. I can drive. And it was like a 2-hour drive, and we were filming. It was a long drive. My point is, if you ever want to work with him, this is a man that's very dedicated to his craft and wants to make sure that the project is done the way it can be. So just more commending to his character.
I want to just jump on David's comment about the piece yesterday. Yesterday, I shared the film with an old Army buddy. I love saying that. Whose son is the lead singer for a band called Nothing More. 3 Grammy nominations last year, and yesterday they released a song called Fade In, Fade Out. It's on YouTube now, and on their Facebook page and everything. And you can see a beautiful song about how a child comes into a life and fades in, and this father's words are, I watched you fade in, and you're going to watch me fade out. And the video is just gut-wrenching. But Bo's wife, Sherry, Johnny's mother, the singer, passed away from cancer. And so I shared the movie with him yesterday, and he said, I cried. He said, I literally got on the phone and was having to close my wife's cell phone account. And he said, I sat there and cried for 10 minutes because I couldn't do it. And the lady on the other end was so sensitive and so helpful. So it's one of those stories that just seems to touch lots of people as it goes around. So that was an interesting sidebar from yesterday.
So what's next for both your filmmakers? Have you got anything going coming up in the hopper?
Yeah, so originally, when Wireless was running in the Film Fest circuit, the original plan was to turn it into a mini-series of self-contained stories of different people in retail. But the more we watch, the more it's really Elliott or James's story, not Derek's story. Right. And it just felt better self-contained on its own, and I had written a few scripts that I don't really want to do that, and so I decided to do a complete 180, and I'm actually working on my first documentary that has nothing to do with cell phones or anything of the like, and I'm really excited to be finishing it up. We're in post-production and hoping to have it out by the end of the year.
I have a feature that we just finished. It's called Beauty, Brains, and Personality. And started entering it in festivals, and it's a comedy about 3 female friends, and at a dinner party one time, one of them says to the other 2, "Isn't this wonderful? Together we make up the perfect woman." And the other 2 said, "Well, what is that? What do you mean?" And she says, "Well, you're the brains, you're the personality, and I'm the beauty." And the other 2 are hurt and devastated, actually, and the friendship, it's a kind of a disastrous. But it is a comedy because they patch it up. But it's just about how all this happened, and what happens afterwards.
Looking forward to see how both you guys tell those stories.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Next up is 8 o'clock.